Hey guys, Nuie here, and in today's episode of PoE 101, we're going to be talking about the masters and their importance to both the beginning of the game, and actually, well, not really the beginning of the game, the end game goal of when you play through PoE. So when you first meet out your first couple masters, they're going to be the first couple masters you'll meet are going to be like Haku and Elrond, and you'll meet them in early Act 1s and just heading out through journeying through things, and they just have little side quests. Basically all of them will offer just like a little side quest, and then it'll give them XP, but it doesn't really detail exactly why you need them to be leveled, or what the purpose of doing their quests are for, since the rewards don't seem very large at the get-go. But when it comes down to it, your masters are extremely important. Each one offers you not only a crafting bench. As you level them, they also gain more modifiers to their crafting. So if they start out with like being able to craft 30%, let's just go with 30 extra health onto your gear, then as you level them, they'll eventually go up to like 50 and even 70% or 70 plus health on your gear. So in leveling them is extremely important. I'm just gonna go through all of the masters, all 8 of the Forsaken masters, and what they offer. I will finish with the 2 that are more endgame ones, so you don't need to worry about immediately, but I'm definitely going to start out with all of them, and then let you guys pick. And to be honest, at the end of towards about halfway through the season, you definitely, or even early in the season, you definitely want to be able to have your maxed out hideout, and have your all of your masters in there, so you can just start gaining quest rewards from each of them. So I'm gonna start out with Haku. Before I cover Haku, the first thing I wanted to mention is that as you get your masters up to level 3, you get access to your first hideout, and as you get all of them to level 3, then you gain access to all of their hideouts. So if you go through it, you want to decide how you're gonna do your hideout based on a couple of things. So the first thing you want to worry about is what kind of character you're playing. If you're playing a melee class, if you're playing a Marauder, a Templar, a Duelist, one of those, you probably want to start more like Haku and Elrond and Vegan. So those are the 3 masters, because they more focus on like physical weapons, the swords, things like that. So they become more important, whereas Caterina and stuff is more focused on spellcasters. Torah is more focused on archers. It's just Rocchi is more focused on assassins. So it's very easy to kind of decide who you want to go for, and each master is basically represented by one of the classes, basically. So they're basically all the masters for each class. So based on your class, you want to choose that master, and then you'll also get access when you first get your hideout. You'll be able to have 2 of your masters in there, as well as Navali, which is the prophecy woman, which I will do in a later video. But so yeah, that's what you want to focus on. And here, before you really start leveling them, the trick you want to do at the beginning of the season, as soon as you get your hideout, is to first off invite the main master, so the master that you're choosing that you're going to level, and the one that the hideout comes from. Because if you dismiss the one from the hideout, then you won't be able to expand the hideout no matter how much you level yours, until you invite him back and level him. The hideout expansion levels are at well, 3 is the first one. That's when you get your hideout. At level 5 you can expand it, and at level 7 you can expand it. At level 5 you can have up to 5 of the masters, I believe. At level 7 you get all of the masters, so all 8 of them will be able to be inside of your base. So that's how it's set up, and that's how it works. So just be aware of that. But what the trick you want to do is you'll invite that main master, and then for your extra second master that you're allowed to have, you want to go and grab every single one of the masters and then dismiss them, so that you can grab their tool benches from each of them early, and just be able to put those into your base. Because you'll still find the ones that you don't see, like the ones that you don't have in your base will still be able to be found in the wild. However, you won't get the daily quest from them, so you'll get less XP for you'll get less XP as far as being able to level them quickly. But you'll definitely be able to find them in the wild anyways. But you want to be able to grab all of their masters' workbenches and be able to put those all in your base, and then you'll start out with your main 2 that you want to work with. So heading into Haku, Haku is the armor master. He focuses on crafting options revolving around body armors, boots, helmets, gloves, and shields. So that's why I said as far as like marauders, this is what he represents. He's basically a marauder. He allows you to do all types of crafting on your gear, and then the main currency, as you max out his level, is that he will exchange orbs of augmentation for orbs of alteration. So this is nice because it allows you to do just if you have a huge amount of orbs of augmentation and are low on orbs of alteration, he gives you a nice exchange rate for those. And then his key signature mod is a +3 to 6 quality of socketed support gems. What each of the masters offer as a they offer a signature mod, tile set, so a specific hideout. They offer a signature mod, which is like a prefix, and then they offer a currency discounted, as well as a metacrafted mod. So the metacrafted mod is prefixes cannot be changed, so their suffixes cannot be changed. These spawn on 1- and 2-handed weapons. Each of the masters will have daily weapons in their base, so you'll be able to buy some items from them. They're not always great, but sometimes they are. And also at max level, which is level 8, they can start selling legendary items or uniques. So just be aware of that. So as you level him, as you can see here, he starts selling base armor and stuff like that, and then he has a chance to sell rares. Then he has the coastal hideout, sells gems, sells decorations, sells items to the signature mod, able to create a hideout at level 5, a bigger hideout with 4 masters level 5. And when I say 4 masters, I mean there's technically 5 because Leo can come to your base regardless. So that's why there's technically more. Oh, sorry? Well, okay, my bad. At level 6, that's when you get your alteration orbs and stuff like that. At level 7, you'll be able to create the large hideout and have your crafted mod. And then at level 8, it's when you'll be able to craft the metacrafting mod and get that chance for extra. You'll get that chance for extra legendary or unique items to be sold by him. So here's the list of all the ability gems that he can sell and what they go for. I'm not going to go too far into that because that's a lot to cover, but you guys can see here. And I am using the Path of Exile wiki, so you guys can always just come here and check this page out. But this is just going to be a quick run through. So here's everything that he comes. So as you can see, he gets increases to armor. He can craft increases to armor, increases energy shield, increases to evasion and energy shield, increases to strength and dexterity, increases to all attributes, increases to just flat armor rolls, flat evasion rolls, flat energy shield rolls, fire res, lightning res. He can get damage, attack damage to leeches life, attack damage leeches mana, physical damage. He gets a nice maximum life roll, so as you can see, 55 to 64. He gets the cold res, lightning res, cold res, proficiency 9p change. So this is all that Haku has to offer for you. And here's all the prices. Again, you can just come over to the Path of Exile wiki and check this out. I'm not going to go through actually all the prices, but you can see the list here. The next one is Elrond. Elrond is the 8 Forsaken is the next master. He's basically the master for Templars. His crafting options revolve around amulets and rings, so he's able to get augments to rings. The hideout he offers is an enlightened hideout, which is the one I currently have. If you see my rest of my videos, I have an enlightened hideout. It's basically the library, pretty much, so it's like that. His signature mod is reduced mana cost of skills, which is really nice for spellcasters, because it allows you to have an easier time casting spells if you don't specifically have a huge amount of mana regen. His exchange is Jeweler's Orbs for alteration, so it's a really nice, easy way to get a lot of Jeweler's Orbs. And then he allows you to have multiple crafted mods onto gears, so you can take a wand, for instance, and craft multiple things onto it. So very useful for weapon crafting and things like that. And then he allows you to edit your own rings and things along those lines. He starts out with just he starts out with so once again, here's all the list of all that he will offer you as far as gems and such, and then heading through, he gives you increased energy shield, removes crafting mod for orb scouring, but increased energy shield, increased evasion, increased armor, increased life, flat energy shield, flat mana, flat strength, flat dexterity, flat intelligence, flat accuracy rating, fire res, lightning res, all attributes, all res, life gain on hit, mana regen, physical damage to attacks, lightning damage, cold fire, critical strike, chance, rarity of items, chaos damage to your attacks, fire res, cold lightning, fire lightning. And it can have multiple crafted mods. So that is extremely expensive, as you can see, to exalted orbs for it. So that's just a basic run through of everything that Elrond really offers you. Again, he's the master basically for Templars. Heading next, Caterina. Caterina is the Forsaken Master revolving around witches, so her crafting revolves mainly around spellcasting and summoners. So she offers some strain mods for some different sorts of mods. She gets a hideout. Her unknifed hideout is basically the it's basically like Felshire runes, pretty much. If you know that map, that's pretty much what you're looking at as far as her hideout. Her signature mod is a +1 to level of socketed support gems. She gets Orbs of Scouring for a large amount of Orbs of Chance. So if you have if you want to do some nice crafting for gear and you need some Orbs of Scouring, she's a good way to get them for just a large amount of Orbs of Chance. Metacrafting mod, she cannot roll attack mods, so it's a little bit different. But she also offers some very unique things, such as being able to craft spell damage and stuff onto different weapons. So it's incredibly important as far as for your more spellcasting classes. So here's the list of all the skills she will offer. She does offer enlightened support for a divine orb, but this is a random chance, so she won't always offer this. And the higher level you are, the more likely to get that, but it's very hard to get it at lower levels. So she allows you to craft a lot of intelligence, mana regen, cast speed, fire damage, cold damage, lightning damage, and then she does the flat spell damage increase. So it starts out with about 25% to 34%, and then that increases all the way up to 68% at a maximum roll. So you can get really nice spell damage crafting from her. She gets fire damage to spells, lightning damage to spells, cold damage to spells, your basic stuff. Let me refresh this page because so cold damage and stuff. And then this is where it becomes kind of important, because a lot of spell classes don't get the best kind of leech things. So what she also offers is leech for different elements. So for instance, as you can see here, where is it? Because she does a lot of minion damage. But here, as you can see here, fire damage can be leeched as life, cold damage can be leeched for life, and lightning damage can be leeched for life. This is important because it allows your spells to leech damage for you. So if you're doing like a cold spell, you'll be able to leech life from that. So that becomes kind of important, especially if you want to run like a Valpak build with a spellcasting class and you only do elemental damage. You want to be able to get mods like this so that you can be able to have instant leech and then be able to still leech with those abilities. So this is what she runs, and then her cannot roll attack mods is a exalted orb. Heading next, I will head into Torah. So Torah revolves around ranged weapons. So she's basically the master of archers or ranger class. Her hideout is the Lush hideout. You'll first encounter her around Act 2, at the beginning of Act 2, and that's when you'll first see her. So she has the Lush hideout. Same with Caterina, you'll start encountering those two in Act 2. She has the Lush hideout, so basically it's a jungle. It's more or less the wetlands. So the quest where you have to go kill Oak, it's pretty much an area like that. Her signature mod is Cause Bleeding on Hit. She has a chromatic orb currency discount, so she sells chromatic orbs, and suffixes cannot be changed. That's her metacrafting mod. So heading down to the list of things that she can offer, she does allow you to get enhanced support for a divine orb, but that is later in the game again. That requires you to have her nice and leveled, and that's when you'll get the chance to get those. What enhanced does, it allows you to improve the quality of supported active skill gems, so that's really nice because it gives them like if you put an enhanced support next to an enlightened support, it'll be pretty helpful because enlightened support takes a while to level, but it gains bonus XP based on the amount of quality it has. So if you have a high quality enhanced next to this, it'll be very helpful for leveling that. So she gives you things like movement speed, life, energy shield, dexterity, lightning damage, just the basic stuff. And then she gives you a lot of flash life recovery, a lot of flash mana recovery rate, elemental damage, trap mine damage, which is kind of unique to her, global critical strike, blast effect, attack speed, attack projectiles returned to you after hitting hit, trap and mine laying speed, physical damage, fire res. She gives it a really nice physical damage roll, so 79% physical damage roll is really nice. Increased global and critical strike chance, increased global and attack speed, and then suffixes can't be changed, which is again 2 exalted orbs. So that's pretty much covers the whole list with Torah and everything that she has to do. Again, she's the master for like rangers and stuff like that. The next one is Rocchi, which is for my favorite class, which I'm finally getting to play, and I'm so happy, even though it's closing in on the end of the season. So happy I finally get to play, and I have such a fun build, and I can't wait to release that to you guys. I'll be releasing that Wednesday. That'll be my next full guide. We'll be coming out Wednesday, but so stay tuned for that. But Rocchi is our master. He's the master assassin. His options revolve around socketing, linking, and coloring items. So he's one of the more, for me, he feels like one of the more important masters because he allows you to socket your gear so you can get support. He allows you to get a lot of support gems onto your gear, so it's very easy to work with him. And then he also offers his hideout is a backstreet hideout, so basically it's the marketplace. If you've seen that, he gets his signature mod is 20-40% increased life per second. So it's a nice one for leeching abilities. He offers fusing orbs for discounted jewels orbs. And then his metacrafting is socketing, linking, and coloring corrupted items. So that's extremely important because it allows you to modify corrupted items, which you would otherwise not be able to do without. But again, that is higher level stuff, so max level things is what we're looking at there. Heading down to his list of things that he offers has all of these skills. Again, I'm not going to go through all of them, and he doesn't have a signature key one because his crafting mods are so important, but there's all of them, and as you level, they'll become more obvious to be seen. But here's the important list for him. He gets 2 sockets, 2 socket crafting, 3 socket crafting, 4 socket crafting, 5 socket crafting, and 6 socket crafting. Now, you can get a better chance at you can kind of just chance this out. So if you have a nice stack of jeweler's orbs and you don't exactly want to spend 70, you can kind of chance it out and see if you'll get a 5 socket. But these are guaranteed. So for 70 jewelers, you will be guaranteed to get a 5 socket. For 350 jewelers, you're guaranteed to get a 6 socket. These are guaranteed, however, it is quite a bit, and you do have to have him at level 5 and 6 respectively. So it's not you not only have to focus on leveling, you have to get a nice stack of jeweler's orbs set to go. Now jeweler's orbs do stack to 20, so it's not particularly difficult to get 70 or even 100 or so, but getting 350 can be a kind of daunting task. However, it's not the worst thing, and if you're really just farming currency, it can be relatively easy. And then he offers linking, so 2 link, 3 links, 4 link, 5 link, and even 6 links. However, once again, that requires a lot of a lot of not only currency for crafting, it also requires a nice amount of leveling. As you can see, 5 linking it requires him to be at level 4, and it requires 150 fusings, which if you want, as you guys have seen in my recent currency video, fusings are basically, one fusing is 4 jewelers. So not only going to need to fuse 70 jewelers to be able to get a 5-socket onto the gear, you also need 150 fusings, so even more jewelers to be able to get a 5-linked socket, and I will do the math and put that up on the screen for you guys there. So you'll be able to see that as far as the conversion rates and what you need for that. And then he also offers coloring, so he'll give you at least 1 red socket, at least 2 red sockets, 3 red sockets, 1 green, 2 green, 3 green, and then he does that for blues as well. And then he offers the kind of randomization, so if you need red and greens, red and blues, greens and blues, greens and reds, and stuff like that. Those are all like 100 chromatic orbs. Chromatic orbs are not specifically difficult. You'll get a lot of chromatic orbs. I think I did 1 map yesterday and got like 10 chromatic orbs just from items, just from recipe, which again I covered in my currency section, so head over there. But he also allows you to color your gear very effectively. Chromatic orbs are not very difficult to get, but this allows you to really easily do this, though you once again can just kind of go through and do your coloring anyways. And at max level for him, at level 8, he allows you to do all of these things to corrupted items. So if you have a corrupted item in your inventory, you'll be able to modify it due to his effect. So that's everything that's involved with Rocchi, who is again the Assassin Master. And now I'm going to head to Vegan. Vegan is the Duelist Master. Basically, his mods revolve around attack weapons, so things like swords and stuff like that. He has a battle scarred hideout, so if you've seen the Battlegrounds, which is basically a level, it's heading to the docks in Act 3, which is when you'll first start beating Vagan and Rocchi. That's what the hideout will look like, but it'll be in the daytime. His signature mod is hits can be evaded, so much like the passive node, it's like that, but it doesn't reduce your critical strike. He offers Orbs of Alchemy for a reduced cost, as well as his metal crafting mod being cannot roll caster mods. So it's specific to, it allows you to lock in and be able to guarantee crafting melee mods onto your gear. Here's the list of his offered skill gems. He offers a very low amount of skill gems because he's very specific to melee abilities. He offers a lot of physical damage crafting, so a lot of raw physical damage, a lot of increases to physical damage, so nice physical damage rolls, a lot of strength, dexterity, global crit, fire res, lightning res, basic stuff like that, attack damage, extra life leech for attack damage, increased dual wielding, chance to block gems. A key mod that he offers is the blood magic mod. Basically, this does cost 2 Diviner's Orbs, but allows you to use blood magic instead of using mana on specific items. He's got a 25% chance to bleeding on a hit, fire damage, lightning damage, all these stuff to damage, and then he also adds a +2 to weapon range, as well as his nice cannot roll caster mods onto his gear, which is 5 blessed orbs. So it's relatively cheap for a high-end master type ability. But that's all that he involved with. So again, he's the master for the Duelist class. The next one is Leo. Leo is the master of arenas. He's a little bit different because he is revolved around PvP focused stuff. So that's why he is allowed to be invited to your hideout regardless, because his stuff is mostly focused around PvP and such. So it's a little bit different. He offers an overgrown hideout. His signature mod is an increased damage mod, so just a flat increased damage mod. He gives you 40 orbs of regret, so a nice amount of regret orbs for a relatively cheaper price. And he gives you cannot roll mods with acquired level above 28. So it's very, very specific to who he is. His daily missions are kind of a pain in the ass to deal with, because a lot of it is focused around doing PvP, which is not the highest focus in Path of Exile, though it can be interesting. I've done it a couple times, but I cannot say it's my favorite thing in Path of Exile, but it's there. He also allows you to do increased damage over time, so very interesting amount of mods. Reduced enemy block chance, increased damage over time, reflection of damage, faster energy shield recharge, flash charges, reduced damage, reduction in ignite chance, reduction in knockback chance, reduction to being chilled, being frozen, being shocked. There's just a lot of there's a lot of defenses versus like things that you would encounter a lot in PvP that you might not really need for the everyday lifestyle. So that's what Leo is. He's basically just a PvP master. You get him in Act 3 as well, and that's when you will see him and everything involved with him. Now, the last master is a little bit different. She's Zana. You will not encounter Zana until endgame stuff. So until the very end of the game, after you complete Act 10 and kill Katava for the second time, you will face Zana, and she will tell you to go do a map, and then you will gain access to her as well. She's different in that she is a master for kind of everyone. She allows you to do the endgame content in your own personal map device, which she offers to you instead of just a crafting device. So she's very important to the endgame and everything, but you won't meet her till then, so don't be too worried about it or trying to figure out where she's at early in the game, because she appears at the end of it. She offers a really pretty immaculate hideout, which is basically it's basically a throne room, pretty much, to be 100% honest with you. It's very pretty, it's very nice. So that's what you'll be able to get from her. Her signature mod is that she allows maps to be modifiers to quantity of items found, also apply to rarity. So that's pretty interesting. So item quantity is plus 30%, item rarity will automatically be 30%. Then you get a nice monster pack size. She offers cartographer chisels, which are an endgame currency, which allow you to upgrade the quality of maps, which gives their drops better, or makes their drops better. She is very interesting. She's a very interesting master in that she kind of she plays such an important role that you don't really see about her for a very large period of time, and you don't really get a lot of her lore until the very end of the game. And all of her extra leveling and mods and stuff all allow you to do different types of things with the maps. So the first thing she does is just so as you can see here, all her leveling and stuff, she just sells you basic maps. So like level 1s, level 6s, or level 1 through 6 I believe is like her early mapping and stuff like that. And then she starts to drop higher tier maps as you level her. So at max level she starts to drop higher end maps, but here's all the conversion and currency and stuff like that. I'm not going to go through all that, but here's it all right here. And then her crafting is onslaught, so you can have onslaught on your mobs. She gives you a free item quantity just for running maps, and then that upgrades per her level to a maximum of 8. She gives bloodlines at level 3, beyond at level 4, ambush at level 5, horrendous at level 6, nemesis at level 7, and breach at level 8. So this is all great for like endgame stuff. Gives you a lot of endgame grinds. A lot of your endgame stuff will require you to do things like these onto maps, so this is where you'll be able to get that. So again, Zana is the last master you'll meet in the game, and that's everything involved with the masters. And I hope you guys got a little bit more well informed from this video, and this covered everything really involved with everything as far as masters. So my next video will be on Wednesday, and that video will be a full out guide for my latest shadow build, and the first shadow I finally got to play in this patch. It was super fun to build, and it's super fun to play, so I hope you guys enjoyed that video and you'll check it out. I'm gonna head out here, guys. I'm gonna go hang out and play, so I'll catch you out. Well, I'll catch you later. Nuie out. Heaven sent my residence, it's heaven, just visiting, blending.